picture this. You're on a date. The two of you are laughing, you feel the chemistry, and everything seems to be building toward that moment. You're sitting close, silence falls, and suddenly your brain goes into overdrive. Should I kiss her now? What if she rejects me? What if she turns her head away and it gets weird? Maybe she doesn't actually like me that way. Maybe I should just wait. And just like that, the moment passes. She checks her phone, she yawns, or she calls it a night. You go home with nothing but regret, replaying the evening in your head like a broken record. Sound familiar? Here's a truth bomb. Men mess this up all the time. But not because they're clueless, not because women are impossible to understand, and not because you somehow have bad luck. It happens because you don't know what to look for. The reality is this: women send signals, clear, hidden cues. If you learn to recognize them, you'll never be confused in that "should I kiss her?" moment again. That's exactly what this video is about. Today I'm going to lay out the hidden signals she sends when she wants you to kiss her, along with supporting signals that confirm she's ready. And by the end, you'll know exactly how to act, so you stop second guessing and finally move with confidence. Quick reminder before diving in. If you're tired of confusion, hesitation, and overthinking every move you make with women, hit subscribe right now. I create videos every week designed to decode women's behavior and help men like you finally succeed in dating. Don't miss out. This channel could literally transform the way you interact with women. Alright, back to the kiss. Let's clear one thing up from the start. Women rarely say directly, "Kiss me now." Why? Because in her world, that spoils the magic. For her, attraction isn't about spelling things out. It's about rhythm, suggestion, and the dance of reading each other. She wants you to feel the moment. She wants you to notice her cues. She wants you to take the lead. So what does she do instead? She sends you small signals, little breadcrumbs that point in one direction. Move closer. I'm ready. But here's where most guys fail. They either miss the signal entirely because they're too stuck in their own head, overanalyze the signal and debate endlessly. Was she just being nice? Did she mean something else? Or worst of all, they freeze until it's too late. The spark fizzles, and what could have been a magical moment turns into just friends. This ends now because once you know exactly what to look for, you'll realize those signals are not random. They show up consistently. Women practically broadcast them to men who know how to tune in. Here's the secret. 9 times out of 10, the signal starts with her eyes. Why? Because eyes are emotions' loudspeaker. Long before her body or her words give anything away, her eyes will. Think about it. You've probably been with a girl who held your gaze just long enough for you to wonder, wait, was that something? And it left you totally unsure. But the truth? Prolonged, lingering eye contact is one of the strongest invitations to kiss there is. That's why in the next section, I'm going to break down her hidden eye and face signals. The first, most powerful green lights that she's not just open to being kissed, she's silently begging you to do it. If you only remember one thing from this video, let it be this. Her eyes will tell you before anything else. Women are masters at communicating attraction in subtle ways, and it almost always starts with her face. Let's break this down step by step. Signal 1, repeated eye contact. Then lip glances. One of the most reliable cues is when she looks at your eyes and then shifts her gaze down briefly toward your mouth. She might do it quickly, like a reflex, or she might even smile when she realizes you noticed. A single glance might not mean much, but if she does this multiple times, that's the green light flashing in neon. Here's why. When a woman is imagining kissing you, her brain literally cues her body to check out your lips. It's subconscious. She might not even realize she's doing it. But if she glances at your mouth more than once, she isn't thinking, what did he just say? She's thinking, when is he going to kiss me? Signal 2, the prolonged stare. Normal social eye contact lasts about 1 to 2 seconds before people look away. But when she holds your gaze longer than that without breaking, she's letting the moment hang on purpose. Add a soft smile or parted lips, and that's basically her leaning in without actually moving. Signal 3, smiles. That linger, everyone smiles when they laugh. But if her smile stays stuck longer than expected, and she's holding it while looking at you directly, That's not politeness. That's her body telling you, I like this, don't stop, and yes, do something more. The lingering smile at the edge of silence is one of the most underrated signs. Signal 4, lip biting or touching. This one is big because it's pure subconscious attraction. If she bites her bottom lip, lightly licks her lips, or even touches her mouth with her fingers while maintaining eye contact, that is desire being telegraphed in the clearest possible way. Her body is preparing her lips for contact without her brain necessarily meaning to. Signal 5, the head tilt. Here's a tiny one almost no one notices. When she tilts her head slightly while looking at you. Why does this matter? Because tilting exposes her neck and face, two of the most vulnerable areas on the body. It's evolutionary. When she does that, she's opening herself up. And in the context of attraction, that openness screams trust and readiness. Now let me give you a real-world example of how this plays out. I once had a coaching client who told me he was on a second date. They were sitting on her couch watching a movie. He noticed that every few minutes she'd look at him, then down at his lips, then quickly back at the screen with a shy smile. He froze, convinced he was overthinking it. Guess what happened? She later told him she was disappointed he never kissed her that night because she wanted him to, and she couldn't make it more obvious. The lesson here is simple. Men get rejected less often than they think. What really happens is they miss the signs. And in missing those signs, they end up disappointing her instead of making her feel pursued. That's why your job isn't to guess. It's to pay attention to these clear invitations, the glances at your mouth, the long stares, the little head tilt, the playful lip bite. When these stack up, she's telling you everything you need to know. Here's the rule of thumb. 1 isolated cue. Maybe coincidence. 2 in a row. She's testing if you'll notice. 3 or more in a short span. That's an unmistakable invitation. Eye and face signals are usually the first stage, the warm-up act before the big finale. Once these start firing, her body language kicks in next, and when you see those signals, that's when the moment shifts from maybe to definitely. So now I'll break down the hidden body language and energy shifts that confirm you're not imagining it. She's 100% waiting for you to make your move. So now that you know the face and eye cues, let's move deeper, literally, because your next layer of signals comes straight from her body language. And here's the thing, the body never lies. It unconsciously broadcasts what she's feeling, even when she's trying to play it cool. You might think kissing is just about lips meeting lips. Wrong. It's about comfort, dominance, and closeness. And before she's ready for you to cross that line, her body will start pulling you in physically. Let's walk through the major signals. Signal 1. She breaks the touch barrier. This is usually the clearest sign she's growing comfortable and testing attraction. If she lightly touches your arm while laughing, puts her hand on your knee briefly, bumps your shoulder in a playful way, or even brushes against you accidentally more than once, it's no accident. Every touch is her way of saying, "See, I'm cool with you being in my space." The male mistake? Treating that touch as meaningless. In reality, it's a literal door swinging open. Signal 2. She positions herself toward you. Watch her posture. Most people naturally sit at a slight angle during conversation, but if she shifts so that her knees, shoulders, and chest are facing you full on, she's opening herself both psychologically and physically. You don't point your whole body at someone unless you're engaged with them on a deeper level. Signal 3. She shrinks the distance. Pay attention to whether she moves closer. Maybe she slides across the booth to your side at a restaurant. Maybe she leans in across the table more often than normal. Maybe on the couch, she scoots an inch closer while pretending to adjust her seat. All of these are subtle but important. Distance is intimacy. If she's closing the gap, she's saying, "I want you here." Signal 4. The hair or clothes. Adjustment, classic but real. She plays with her hair while looking at you, tucks it behind her ear, or smooths her clothing. Why? Because grooming is a subconscious signal of attraction. She's making herself presentable for you, and yeah, it often happens right before she hopes you'll make your move. Signal 5. The freeze. This one is incredibly telling. Attraction and nervous anticipation accelerate heart rate. And often, when the moment feels close, a woman will suddenly go still. She stops fidgeting, stops moving around, and just pauses. Stillness is tension, and it's in that quiet tension that the kiss belongs. Signal 6. The shift in energy conversation slows. Laughter softens. Her voice drops a little lower. The whole vibe goes quieter and heavier, like the world is holding its breath. This is nature's version of dimming the lights and rolling out the red carpet. It's telling you there's only one thing left to do. Now, why are all these body signals important? Because they eliminate the question mark. You're not randomly diving in for a kiss hoping it lands. You're following clear, consistent green lights. Here's a quick framework. Facial signs, attraction seed. Body language, readiness proof. When both line up, you're not guessing anymore. You're reading her correctly. And if you fail to act when she's giving you these obvious cues, that's when she starts doubting your confidence and the attraction fades. Remember, she doesn't want to spell it out. She wants to feel that you picked up on her vibe naturally. That's what makes it romantic. So the next time you notice her leaning in, brushing your arm, or going quiet with her eyes locked on you, stop overthinking. Stop talking yourself out of it. That moment is the perfect setup, and hesitation only ruins it. But before you act, here is one last category of signals you need to pay attention to, her actual words. Because believe it or not, women will sometimes hand you the green light through what they say. And if you can decode those verbal hints, you'll never miss an opportunity again. We've covered her eyes. We've covered her body language. But there's one more layer that most men completely overlook, her words. Now, women usually won't just say, "Kiss me." But what they will do, if they like you, is lace their conversation with subtle hints that point directly toward intimacy. These are verbal signals that line up perfectly with the eye and body cues you've already learned. When you notice both working at once, the message is undeniable. She's inviting the kiss. Let's break down the big ones. Signal 1. Compliments that cross the line. If she's telling you, "You smell so good," or "I feel so comfortable with you," think about it. Women don't just casually toss these around. Those words are coded invitations. She's not reviewing your cologne like a product tester. She's praising you in ways that connect directly to physical closeness. Signal 2, jokes or questions about kissing. Sometimes women practically hand-deliver the green light with a bow on top. Comments like, "I bet you're a good kisser," or even teasing, "Do you kiss on the first date?" aren't random. That's her seed planting. She's basically saying, "I've been thinking about kissing you. Are you?" Signal 3, extending the night on purpose. Think of it. The date could end, but instead she says, "Want to watch one more episode?" Or, "Let's walk a little longer." This is not about the Netflix plot or exercise. She's carving out more space for that kiss to naturally happen. Signal 4, highlighting the moment. She might say things like, "It's so quiet now," or "I've never felt this relaxed with someone." That's her underlining the vibe. Subconsciously, she's softening the atmosphere to make the kiss feel natural, not rushed. Now let's flip to the move itself, because recognizing the signals means nothing if you don't know how to act on them confidently. Here's the step-by-step kiss game plan. Lock eyes. When the vibe feels right and you've picked up her green lights, stop talking, just look at her. Hold her gaze a little longer. Silence here is powerful. Look at her lips. Drop your eyes down briefly to her mouth, then back up to her eyes. It's quick, it's subtle, but it primes her brain. You're signaling, "I'm about to kiss you." Close the gap. Slowly, move in about 70–80% of the way. If she's into it, she won't pull back. She might even lean the rest of the way in. That tiny pause as you approach builds electric tension. Make it gentle. Start soft. First kisses aren't about being dramatic. They're about being smooth, controlled, and confident. Short, sweet, let her lean in more if she wants it deeper. That's it. No complicated choreography. No cheesy "can I kiss you" line. Masculine confidence is calm, direct, and natural. Listen, if this video finally cleared up when and how you should kiss her, then imagine what your dating life will feel like when you can read every signal women send. That's exactly why you need to subscribe right now and ring that bell. Every day, I break down real world dating psychology into simple steps you can use immediately. So hit subscribe, explore the other videos I've linked in the description, and become the guy who never hesitates, never misses the moment, and always makes a woman feel desired in the right way. Because remember, most guys lose the girl not from rejection, but from hesitation. She's not looking for perfection. She's looking for a man who notices her signals and then confidently makes his move. Notice the signs, trust yourself. And when the signals line up, kiss her without a doubt. That right there is how a regular date turns into a memory she'll never forget.